Welcome back to the Saturday night's LCK 2020 Summer Split Analyst Desk. Today we'll be joined by Victory and Pun for today's analysis. Today it was a match between two teams with a different momentum, SeolHaeOne versus Gen.G. First, let's talk about the draft. We saw Talia from BDD after a while. Talia was one of the meta picks when Pawn was a pro player, but in the current meta, Talia is not a good champion and it got a lot of nerfs. But this time around, Gen.G picks Talia. And also, they tried to counter SP's comp with Ashe in the bottom lane. One of the Gen.G's strengths is they have a huge lane power, so they give a lot of pressure, not even giving them a space to open fights. In addition to that, Gen.G, as they mentioned in the previous interviews, they always go for a fight. They are the ones engaging and opening fights, so Gen.G had a really high pressure up against SeolHaeOne Prince. Also, SeolHaeOne had a lot of hard time, especially because Rek'Sai didn't have a lot of power all throughout the game. Based on the Gen.G's comp, a very invade-oriented comp, well, Rek'Sai was not having a lot of space to farm in the jungle. Gen.G players, they had so much vision around the map. They played like they're watching the Rek'Sai's pro view. They always had the information where he is. Rek'Sai is really powerful when he can pull up a flash gank, but with all the early wards and also the vision help from Ashe, well, Rek'Sai was not able to do his secret sneaky early game ganks. So as Ashe hit level 2 first, he found Rek'Sai with the hawk shot when he was at the blue buff, so Clean can just simply go walk into the enemy jungle and have the raptor camp. And then Rek'Sai kind of knew it, so he had to walk all the way around to the golem's camp. And then another, with that bloom, Clean found Rek'Sai around the golem camp. So Kuma had to clear out the raptor camp. Because he got exposed too much by the Gen.G players, he once again had to have a long roam up to the top side and then get the Scuttle Prep, but this one again was captured by Ashe. A lot of people might think that Rek'Sai has to pull off an early game gank, but there was no way for him because he got all the information to the side of Gen.G. Even though Rek'Sai did his best, he didn't have a lot of options to make an early game setup. Just like we said earlier, Gen.G was utilizing their vision lead. This game looked really unfair for SeolHaeOne Prince because before this dragon fight, Gen.G already had all their vision in the map. They had a lot of options. They can go for the Drake, or they can go for a pick in the bottom lane, or rather, also in the top side. SeolHaeOne Prince players, they're trying to have a lot of vision in the bottom lane, preparing for the dragon, but Gen.G was one step earlier than them. And also, the 11-minute dragon fight was very similar like this as well, because SeolHaeOne didn't have any vision around dragon. They couldn't go for the fight or even compete for it. But Gen.G was really greedy. You know, they had the dragon, but at the same time, they were keep giving the pressure onto the SeolHaeOne that they will be going in for kills in addition to the neutral objectives. With the comp power and the vision lead, Gen.G was able to get a very clean victory in game number 1. Then let's check out who will be the player of the game from Gen.G. It's gonna be BDD and Talia. Talia used to be one of his signature picks, so he showed a great proficiency in this pick. His performance on the mid lane was flawless all throughout the game, and even he had some risky moments in the laning phase, but he was just sidestepping away from any critical skills. Here as well, he almost got solo. It was like a natural result for him to bite the dust, but he was just sidestepping away from all the potential risky skill shots from Rek'Sai and even got a turnaround kill on him. It's been a while we've seen Talia in the mid lane, so the way he kind of pulled off his ultimates was very unexpectable for the SeolHaeOne Prince players. Victory was the one on the swing votes, but except that, Talia picked up 11 votes. So that was a game 1 victory on the side of Gen.G. It's time to move on to game number 2 to find out whether Gen.G can have their winning streak or whether SeolHaeOne Prince can fight back.
Thank you so much, G-Sun, as usual, for the translation of the analyst desk. I'm just glad that it wasn't good old Brendan Valdanalist Valdez that was the one man out this time around.
Yeah.
Victoria, I don't know what that was. It wasn't Ruler's greatest game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he got solo killed.
Yeah.
Like, there was the one time he hit his arrow on a guy that was running straight at him. Like, I don't know. Not much that Ruler was able to do that time, as they're going to sub in Flawless here. I think that Kuma, yeah, maybe next time. That they need to bring in Flawless to have a chance here into the next one. But also...
Ooh, Keeney.
Yeah, Keeney, I think? Keeney?
I think Keeney was how it was. Something like that, yeah. It's not Kane. That's a different Korean mid lane.
No, yeah, I think it's Kaney.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Kaney. You can.
Yeah, let's go. I think Kaney.
Yeah.
Kaney. Something. I remember it was difficult when he was playing previously. Of course, before Mickey joined the roster, Kaney was certainly in there. But we'll see whether this is going to be enough to change the prospects of SeolHaeOne Prince. I personally don't know whether that's going to be the case, as I think subbing out Mickey's a really interesting choice. I think he had actually some moments on his Syndra. Holding onto his ultimate was not exactly the right thing to do around some of those dragon fights and things like that, but otherwise I think his laning phase was okay. His Gen.G are going to take away the Kiana from Kaney, definitely one of his signature picks. Interestingly enough, also one that Mickey likes to play.
Yeah, interesting that they would target ban him here. I think that BDD can probably handle anything that he's going to play. They're also going to ban Pantheon, which has been having a lot of success in the support role recently, but I think maybe that is another target ban for the mid lane, as Yuumi is also going to be taken off the board here. They don't want to let Secret play that one.
All right. Who's going to be left up? Will it be Aphelios? Will it be Ezreal? Will it be both? And the answer will be both.
Oh boy. First pick, Ezreal. Oh, Karma, okay.
Yep.
We're going to give SeolHaeOne Prince the chance to choose. I think in this case you might want to take the Ezreal. I don't think you want to let them have Ezreal Karma against Aphelios. As long as Gen.G draft intelligently after those first 2 picks, it would probably be their game to win. Also, it's Ruler, so he's one of the best Ezreal players in the game.
Yeah, but also the Ashe Karma. We saw the Ashe Karma be absolutely ridiculous as well. Another good way of shutting down the Aphelios. So they are going to lock that one in, but what they're going to do to augment what he can offer is going to be very important here, as Flawless subbed back in and back on Trundle duty by the looks of things.
Yeah, he's played a couple of games of Trundle so far, and that is going to get locked in here. I mean, yeah, it's either Ezreal or Ashe, but I think with Ruler, with the Ezreal, in this spot, you just go for it, especially against Trundle Aphelios. I mean, the Ashe wouldn't be bad either. I wonder if he's mulling over that right now.
I actually think that Ashe works a little bit better with things like the Ardent Sensor, but we know that our LCK team is very much like Karma and Ezreal, as this is... do you remember there was a certain composition yesterday? Oh dear.
Lee Sin into Aphelios, not a good pick. It's, I mean, if you can get the perfect kick flash, it's very difficult to pilot. Again, it's Clid, right? So maybe he's going to have a little bit more success on it, but it was Cuz yesterday who didn't have any success on it, who's another fantastic jungler.
And we saw when they didn't draft that comp, they won.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was a great learning experience for T1 and the LCK as a whole, that we don't do that anymore. But that is only the first 3 picks here for Gen.G. They could right the ship, potentially, as we move further into this draft. LeBlanc going to be taken away from B2D. His Azir still remains. And that could actually save Gen.G's composition, potentially. Think about how far you can be kicked back. Yeah, well, I mean, that's true.
Why didn't he just do that? It's BDD, it's Azir.
Well, it's going to be banned now, isn't it?
He just really needed to get that Lee Sin before it may have unfortunately got banned in the second phase. I mean, I think you just ban Azir here.
Yeah, I think they probably should. 9 seconds to find it. I reckon they can do it.
If they don't do it, I think BDD picks it 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. It is going to be banned. Now, Gen.G could be trapped as well. They might be like, oh, Galio's available. And why don't we go, like, Galio and, I don't know, some kind of engaged top laner that's melee.
Oh, God.
Into the Zoe of Felios. So, I do not want to, this is like Galio bait right now.
It's a little bit frightening.
This is what this feels like to me. But
I like this a lot more.
But
this means that Karma is not going to be put in the mid lane, which I think would have been a mistake. You're going to lack the damage if that's the case. And Twisted Fate certainly can morph the battlefield. So Ruler's going to lock that one away from BDD. Now Rascal's blind top lane pick is going to come in. Nope, it's going to be top Karma, I think. Or top Tahm Kench. Sounds awesome. What do you reckon, Valdez?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you have a lot of support for your Ezreal carry. Obviously, this is one way to just let Ruler go nuts in this game. As, oh boy, R5 Renekton.
Oh, baby!
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
That's exactly what they needed into Karma.
100%. What? And you were talking about it, you know? Champions that are really melee. That being said, you know, not quite as bad as if Gen.G had have picked Renekton.
True.
But now we've got to work out exactly where everything's going. It looks like it is going to be just Tahm Kench on the bottom side, and Rascal is going to be piloting the top lane Karma. Means that Ezreal is their sole form of physical damage outside of, I guess, Clid on the Lee Sin, but Lee Sin's not really going to be offering too much damage, especially in the late
count
game.
out Lee Sin so much. It's so funny. But he's really been struggling. So many fantastic junglers. I'm talking about the best junglers we have in LCK. Have tried to force this Lee Sin pick and failed. I don't know if Clid is going to be able to do it here. Now, this might be another case where Gen.G is just so much better than SeolHaeOne Prince that it works. That doesn't mean that Lee Sin is a good pick, okay? I just want to throw that out there. Or, there were so many other things they could have picked. They could have picked a different jungler that works better against Trundle. I don't know, like a Kindred, a Nidalee, you know, there's a million other choices they could have gone. Or they could have just taken Azir for BDD early instead of having it get banned. I think that also would have been a good choice. Maybe he didn't want to blind it, but either way.
I mean, they even had Karma, so they could have picked Olaf pretty happily also. Because with the Inspire Shield, Olaf becomes so much more valuable.
True.
So, yeah, still going to be melee. Still not necessarily what you want into an Aphelios, but Ragnarok is a thing, so I don't know. We'll see whether Clid is going to show us exactly why. We have to remember back to, you know, Clid is one of the best Lee Sin players in the world. But it's just not feeling like his time at the moment. Yeah. Even in the LPL, where we did learn that Lee Sin is a good champion. MSC taught us, you know, Casa especially, shout out to him, showed us that Lee Sin is still absolutely fantastic. But even over there, his win rate isn't out of control. I will have to do a little bit of research to double check with that one, but when I looked in on it like a week or two ago,
it's just become this kind of sore spot for us here at the LCK, the Lee Sin picks. But And again, if he has a great game on it, you know, the other thing about Lee Sin that for me I'm not a big fan of is that it's very difficult to pilot. Like it can be so feast or famine. Like if you don't hit your spells correctly, or if you're not in the right place at the right time, you might just be useless in the game. It's like Nidalee, but except Nidalee for this comp might have been okay because you already have Karma, and then you have Nidalee Karma for Ezreal for Ruler, and then maybe you can pick something that's not Tom Kench, but either way.
He's actually been doing fine in the OPL. I take it all back. About a 60% win rate, so
it's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's picked pretty often, it seems.
Oh, yes. Certainly a lot of games. I think second most played jungler over there, so still a lot to learn. As it turns out, maybe Clid can show us. He was formerly, of course, an LPL jungler. You can see Ruler and Life, they get control of this lane. And we'll see whether they're going to be able to continue to do so. This can be Ezreal favored. We know that. Especially with the Tahm Kench there for the ultimate protection. But we'll have to see whether it's going to work out. It's Hybrid. You get tagged by basically everything that Ruler has to throw at him. And level 2 is going to be gained here by Gen.G. And that means that Hybrid and Secret will have to park themselves outside of this lane for the time being.
Yeah. The Tongue Lash actually has a lot of value in this lane because the Aphelios relatively short-ranged outside of Calibrum, and then you have the Nautilus, and you can just slow them and line up Qs for the Ezreal to just shell damage into you. So it can be a little bit difficult early on. And then especially late game, we know what the Thomas Kench does for the Ezreal. Taking a look at the win rates here. Ezreal might be gaining another point there on the left side, but we'll see how the game goes.
It was much worse coming into the week, where I think we were sitting at like a 1 and 9 or something like that. It was yeah, pretty horrendous. We've since been able to find some teams that have sorted this matchup out. And I think we can be pretty sure that in scrims, Ezreal's been fine in this matchup. It's just on the stage. Things have been working as Secret is going to have a wander past the minion wave as Flawless makes his way down, but Arcane Shift, hell of an ability. As Nautilus, yeah, 200 years under the sea, currently 9-1. Pretty good.
200 years under the sea, of course, your given name to Aphelios Nautilus. Nautilus, if you will.
Not Natelios?
No. That sounds like a
Nutella?
A chocolate snack.
Yeah, it sounds like a
Aphelios.
Have you had Nutella pizza before?
No.
It's amazing.
I don't think I want to.
Super good.
Doesn't sound very good.
Rascal may... Okay, never mind. It's got Grasp of the Undying up here towards the top side of the map. It's going to be your tanky Karma. Very utility-based.
Imagine picking Renekton into this lane.
Yeah.
I still can't get over that. You're just gonna get harassed. You're gonna get bullied. You don't, you're not really being picked for the comp either. Like Renekton into this comp, you're gonna get kited by TF Ezreal Karma. Like it's gonna be so easy. And then Tahm Kench just in case, and it's not even good into the lane. So I still don't really understand the pick. As hello.
Okay, Flawless is going to steal that one away. Q lands there as Clid with some funny business, as we just saw. The Flawless puts down that control ward, and there's the redemption. It's going to come on through, of course. Kaney, a good Zoe player, but Clid's going to tag Flawless. They do get the flash out as the bubble is not going to land, but it's picked up from the floor and denies BDD his entry, and Clid lands yet another Q. As I take it all back, Lee Sin's the best champion in the LCK.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's going to pick up that first kill. And the TP was really key. Kaney, it looked like he used it to get into the lane, so he wasn't able to get there on time. Once it turned into the 3v2, it was absolutely going to go Gen.G's way. But even before that, well, we got another fight here, actually.
Exactly. Secret going to go down relatively low. There's the exhaust onto Hybrid. Used aggressively here as Clid is making his way into this lane as Hybrid has Ashe engaged at the moment with his Gravitum. Currently he is, according to LS, I think he's Ashe Siva right now.
He's everything. He's every champion.
Sorry,
oh, right
no,
now,
right now, actually, because he just traded the Gravitum for the Crescendum. That means he's Siva Tristana.
Yeah, or Twitch, I think.
Oh, Twitch. Yeah, that's right. Crescendum's Twitch.
He's everything.
Yeah, okay, got it.
He's every champion.
I think I liked it
All
more when
packed
he
in
was
one.
just Elodios all the time.
Yeah.
It was much easier.
He's got a lot of champions within there. As this is the 2v2. See that the Karma's pretty low on mana, but she gets like 5 billion autos into Ixu, who feels forced to turn around, but Karma's never gonna die.
And also, you saw the amount of health you get back at the end of your tether if you mantra it. Just insane. It's like 200 health.
Yep.
Oh.
So just another reason why Karma top is really good into melee, as got a one-on-one.
Yeah. And there is yet more health coming back. Ixu does have dominance. He does do a fair bit of damage here, but you mentioned kiting, and that is continuing to happen here as the red card is picked up, and BDD will grab that kill so easily.
Yeah.
I mean, this is basically like, Renekton's just a handbag in this comp.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one example. We're already getting multiple examples of why this Renekton is just so sad into this composition. And TF, he can just wait for his ultimate, he'll be there again, and Renekton's gonna die again. And next time you can even bring Lee Sin, if you want to go for a little bit of a dive into a Shelly pickup or something like that. It's just gonna be the saddest time for that top laner. And this is Ixu we're talking about. It's not like, you know, a rookie top laner who's coming in who doesn't have a big champion pool. He could have picked, you know, 10 other different champions, but he decided on this one, which makes it even stranger to me. As a little bit of a roam up into the red buff click, gonna take that one away. They have total control over the top side of the map. Flawless is not there at all. Just trying to clear out his jungle first. Will probably hit level 6 from this clear. And he was able to pick up the Mountain Draken, so he's got that going for him.
Yep, Kaney here in this mid lane is actually ahead by a little bit of farm over BDD, who has been leaving the lane in order to kill people inside lanes. Now just going to help take down Shelly, as the beach ball's not really going to find the mark. Kaney spots over and gets the bad news. Flawless is going to have to clear out a control ward, and that's what he's going to have for himself. As True Shot Barrage lands onto Secret, he's down to 200, but now Hybrid offering his damage back, flashes after life, and that is an easy kill. But Ruler now trying to take them down, and this could just be Gen.G grabbing a double kill after life sacrifices himself, but no. Success for Secret, Dredgelines his way out. But this is Ezreal doing better in this matchup. We've seen that happen a lot, actually, and it's Aphelios is walking away with the kills. Not happening this time as Flawless going to turn up towards the top side as Rascal is having a merry jaunt around this lane. Flash does come in as the pillar comes out, and Flawless just trolls himself. What? Hello?
Yeah.
All right, well, Clid's going to turn up here, and they're going to try and kill the troll. It's the kickback, but that might actually have saved his life there as Ixu trying to get back in as cue the Yakety Sax, Valdez.
Did you bring your sacks today?
No, I didn't. It's still at home, actually.
Oh.
I'm back in
You have it
Australia.
in Korea? Yeah, I figured it was in Australia. Well, Kaney might be looking for a pick here.
Yep, I've seen this one before as the bubble is going to miss Clid. Flashes over the wall, in fact, and that's not a hijacked flash. That's his regular one, and nothing's going to come of it.
Yeah, SeolHaeOne and Prince look a little bit...
I mean, I think everyone looks a little flustered right now.
Yeah, really kind of like all over the place. Light not going to be able to stop this back, but really trying to force things after some unfortunate beginnings to this game. We're going to take another look at the trade down on the bottom side. Max range there on the dredge line. And then Hybrid is really trying to save this lane. Does a good job of picking up the kill, but Ruler's just sitting there doing about 1 billion damage to both of them. And yes, they get the kill onto the Tom Kench, but it ends up not being worth it because Ruler able to push in the lane. There was no TP for Hybrid, so probably lost a good chunk of XP and gold. And already, I mean, we're only 10 minutes in, and Gen.G have already catapulted themselves into the lead, about 2,000 gold ahead. And most of that is in the couple of, well, there are a couple of kills ahead plus the CS difference in the top one.
Well, there's the depth charge, and Life is going to go down relatively low, but True Shot Barrage gets so much value, and somehow Life keeps himself alive for so long. BDD may not be so lucky as Life sacrifices himself for his mid lane, and now Rule is going to make his way in as Clid looking for a kick target. Does find Flawless. No, he's not going to be able to, as there's the Q. Kaney going to go down low. The Lee Sin will fall, but can they get more? And the answer is going to be yes. Hybrid now looking to try and get that 200 years working, but it's not going to happen. And as the dust settles, it's pretty even, actually, as far as Trade's bottom lane.
I turned into a literal PogChamp face when I saw that Q out of Clid. He kicks and parts the Red Sea and finds the kill in the back line. That was pretty crazy out of Clid. As we'll take a look. This is a good setup, actually, by SeolHaeOne Prince. They're able to get 4 members down. The rotation from Gen.G a little bit slow. And Tahm Kench is just so obnoxious. It takes forever to kill them, so they buy so much time.
Meanwhile, Rascal is once again in a bit of a tricky situation. Not going to be able to escape this time around. That's his first death, though, and he's just been hard shoving this lane over and over again.
We didn't get to see it again. Go back to the replay. What? We didn't need to see Karma dying.
Another Shelly adventure here as she's going to plant her forehead into this turret. And Rule is going to be there as well. Might be able to even get another plate. No, it looks like they are going to save that one as Clid gets chunked by Kaney. Ball's here in position. Will get a few chomps onto Clid, but he's going to land that Q and offer a lot of damage back, in fact. Safeguards himself away as there's a pause. For some reason, right in the middle of this exchange. And Life doesn't have flash. He could potentially be going down, as we will get an explanation as to why we've gone sepia mode. Yeah,
look at Kaney.
Has a beach ball at the ready.
Yeah, holding it up, ready to serve.
Speaking of serving, that's in fact the chef Tahm Kench skin as well. So he might be serving himself up here to SeolHaeOne Prince in just a moment.
We're getting the never-ending scanner sound.
Yeah, there's a lot of scanning going on. But that's what we're doing, though. We're scanning maybe BDD's PC to figure out whether or not there is anything that's going wrong. But no, it doesn't look like it's his that has an issue. And we'll have to get a bit of a update as to whether it's a game issue, whether maybe it's a peripheral issue, or something like that. As, yeah, it is going to be BDD that's having some trouble doing something.
Yeah. Referees at the ready, running on over. I'm looking back to see what might be the issue. Not really sure. It might be bugged because I don't see him, you know, messing with the mouse or keyboard or monitor or anything. No settings being toggled with.
Yeah, interesting. He wasn't actually in that fight either.
Yeah.
As that was, in fact, Tahm Kench and the Lee Sin, so it would have been Life and Clid that are the ones having issues, if it was something involved in that little skirmish. Okay, so BDD's TP seems like it's floating, so it looks a little bit like a visual bug. So we're going to go into his ProView and have a look.
뭐야, 나 하늘에 떠다녀.
Don't see anything wrong just yet.
Oh, he's floating.
이거만 먹고.
Oh, wait,
퍼져도
yeah.
되죠?
Oh, not his TP, his character.
Yeah.
His TF is floating.
Yeah, his TF is floating.
Is that I assume probably just need to reload and it'll put his shadow back in the right position. But that did look very weird. I'm like sitting there looking at his teleport summon spell like,
I'm like, what's the
when's
problem?
it going to change?
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, his champion's floating.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
Like, I don't think he teleported anywhere.
That's one of my favorite pauses so far. I'm not going to lie to you.
Floating TF.
We've had some weird ones, but floating TF is definitely... I mean, it's an acronym for this floats, so I guess it does make some sense. It looks like we are going to be resuming after that fun bug. Like that.
Yeah. BDD. Here we go. Right into the fight. I hope you're ready, Atlas.
Yeah, this is the countdown as we're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. But the bubble's going to land, and that might just be a dead Tahm Kench. His Grey Health is going to be eaten, but Life is still going to be dead. I know that sounded confusing. Life can't necessarily be dead because it's alive. But I guess what has a life often dies, you know?
Yes.
I know it sounds a bit morbid. But that is something that does happen.
It's pretty dark, Atlas.
Yeah, sorry.
Speaking of dark,
Didn't mean to go
great series.
Yeah, I really need to actually. I need
You
to
gotta
watch
watch
it.
that. It's awesome.
I watch a lot of shows with my girlfriend, but she likes having Korean subtitles.
Oh, yeah, you can.
And so it's really hard to watch foreign shows because both of us want to use, you know, subtitles. We watch a Korean show, I get subtitles. Watch an English show, she gets subtitles.
Yeah.
But if we watch an Italian show, one of us is screwed.
Well, it's a German show.
It's a German show. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. That was my example.
Yeah, it's a German show, so I would recommend using subtitles, not the dubs. I think the feeling of the show is really important.
Yep.
So you really
Oh, and
capture that with
we
the
tried.
real
We
voice.
tried watching it with the dub, and I was like, no. There's no way this is gonna happen.
Me too.
I don't think I've ever had an experience where a dub is fine, unless it's an animation, and even then, a lot of them can be really, really, really bad. At least with an animation, it's not obviously not that human saying the words, you know,
Yeah.
which is just, yeah, not good.
Well, a little bit of a rotation maybe down to the bottom side. Hybrid and Secret running away.
All right, Destiny comes in. Abyssal Voyage to follow up there as well. Dredgeline not going to find the mark as True Shot Barrage is good. And a teleport from a half-health Ixu trying to get down here and actually affect change. I don't think he's going to be able to do so, though, as the Crocodilian is just going to wander backwards and forwards.
So with that
achieving
play, they still lose the bottom lane turret, which they were going to lose anyway. And they're also taking a ton of damage on the top lane turret because Karma is getting in there. These are big wins across the board for Gen.G. They don't need to pick up a kill to get a big win. There's going to be lots of minions that are lost up on the top side from that earlier wave, plus the turret taking a bunch of damage. One thing that SeolHaeOne Prince do have going for them is that they have picked up both of the Drakes here. So if they can pick up the next one and potentially...
There isn't a next one. Look, do you see it?
Oh.
There's no next
Where'd
one.
it go?
We don't have Drake.
Maybe it's floating.
It might be floating. It may have floated off.
Maybe. Maybe it just flew away.
I would have been expecting the Cloud Drake to be the one that's floating, but it's impossible for that one to exist next. And we'll just have to see whether it's going to be an Ocean or an Infernal. They say Hot Air rises, so I think the Infernal Drake's the most likely
Probably.
to float.
Yeah. I think you're right on that one, Alice.
Yep, there we
Good
go.
analysis.
Nailed it. That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Scientist.
Yeah, well, Secret is going to get caught up there with his own Dredgeline by the looks of things. His Life is the one that's taking the majority of the damage. Safeguard just going to help block things onto Life there. Eats his Grey Health, gets Depth Charge, but is able to just Blast Cone and negate the CC as Shirley has been started up. And it looks like SeolHaeOne Prince have created enough of a distraction in order to take that one away for themselves. They also have so much vision control in that area. That's 5 Control Wards. All around this this Herald. So if they can't actually lock this one down, then I don't know what they're going to be able to do as another Redemption comes in. And Secret may have just put himself in harm's way, but Q not going to land from the Lee Sin as now Ixu does find a flank. But BDD does go golden, cleared with an immediate kickback just to get the Crocodile out of there and able to safeguard himself to safety. That's a great snipe coming in from Rascal. And now the destiny for the re-engage. Hybrid is well and truly dead, ladies and gentlemen, and BDD is the one that picks up that kill. And this is what happens. You have to be constantly vigilant about your positioning when you're up against the Twisted Fate.
BDD playing that one really well. He should also already have his Route of Ages. He's really tanky. Yeah, it's already got 4 stacks. He's on his way to a Lichbane, it looks like. Had a stopwatch, too. That's one thing that we've seen a lot from Faker when he plays TF. He hops into the middle of the fight, and he's tanky enough to tank a bit, and then he stopwatches. And then by that time, his teammates are able to get in there and surround him, and it really causes a lot of chaos for the enemy team as they have to switch targets very often, and the TF soaks a lot of damage, even though, again, he's not traditionally a tank. So Secret's super low, by the way, to start the fight, but he gets Redemption, misses the hook. And you can see here, the TF is like in the middle. Ixu's trying to wrap around, but the immediate stopwatch is going to tank a bunch of damage. And he flashes away, and then it's like, oh, well, now he can't get on top of them. And then Secret dies by a really nice snipe from Rascal. And Hybrid's out of position. He gets caught out.
In the meantime, Rascal is just putting people on leashes. That's what he's been doing this entire game so far as Secret finds himself in absolutely no man's land. Ruler's just going to be fed a free kill. We came back from a replay, so not entirely sure what happened to Secret there. But currently, SeolHaeOne Prince are 5,000 gold behind. So a lot of kills this game, actually, is in the Infernal Drake is what's going to be coming up right now. Split's going to get devoured. Flawless in trouble as well, and it's just pick central here from Gen.G, and this is exactly the kind of game that Lee Sin's really good at. And Gen.G are a team that's able to actually play it out. As Clid dives right underneath the turret, but there's a tanky Rascal there to make sure that he doesn't go down. And this is vintage Clid Lee Sin right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing it really well. You gotta hand him that. You know, we're not a huge fan of the Lee Sin in the draft, but he makes it work, so...
Well, this is
at least for Clid, maybe he's the one guy that gets the pass, you know?
The thing is, like, Lee Sin does work. We know that. We saw what happens in the LPL when they utilize this champion, and it's just picks up picks in the mid-game like this, where they're able to create this artificial chaos that they're playing into, and it's happening again as a team fight's about to break out. Destiny Gate comes through, the Abyssal Voyage to augment, but hey, Hybrid, there's a lot of years that they have to be careful of as Ruler finally turns up to the fight, but the Lee Sin will pick off the Renekton, and now Hybrid does have to run to the hills. Kaney off to the side, wants to be able to get some extra damage, but Ruler's just a one-man wrecking crew, just destroying him in amongst 4 people of SeolHaeOne Prince. Ruler just snipes out the Zoe.
Yeah, it feels like Gen.G are just miles ahead of SeolHaeOne Prince right now. Not just in the game, but in just straight up skill level. This team is looking so fantastic here in Summer. As we're gonna take a look at this. I don't really remember. Oh, okay. So this is much earlier fight.
They caught Rascal, by the way.
Yeah. Tank Karma, by the way. Don't forget about her. That's the 3-way flex of the Karma. That's why she's such a good first pick. They're able to just slot her up in the top side, and then SeolHaeOne Prince, you know, decide to counterpick themselves with the Renekton, so it does nothing. Clid here, trying to get the pick, and he's just flying all over the map. SeolHaeOne Prince are also all over the map. I mean, they're just like, you know, going in one by one. And here is the global power of this composition. Tom Kent was actually a really nice addition to this composition.
It's actually working a lot. I think Destiny plus the Abyssal Voyage is a really cool combo. I think you're exactly right. And I was really scared that Hybrid was just going to Aphelios people. But instead, Ruler just Rulered people instead.
Now remember, they gave Ruler the Ezreal, which I was saying was a mistake. I don't think you should do that. In the same way you don't give BDD Azir, I don't think you should give Ruler Ezreal.
Yeah.
But another team does it, and they are going to learn firsthand why you don't.
Ruler can just kill Secret here if he wants to.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
There are Ezreal players, and then there are Ezreal players.
And we thought that we had, you know, the Ezreal was just too good here in Korea. Hadn't been the case, as Ixu does find a decent flank, but there's a Devour, and there's nothing that this Renekton's going to be able to do. It's one stun, gets put on cooldown, and then, oh, Clid, you sneaky devil. Not going to be bubbled this time, as Kaney is still looking for more. This inner turret is well and truly dead. Sorry, Gen.G just looks like they're playing with their food at this point in time.
Yeah. And they are, actually. That's kind of what's going on here.
What Ruler? It's just a Ruler highlight reel. It's a Ruler and Clid highlight reel this game.
And again, imagine seeing the full draft of Gen.G and then the last picking Renekton. Like, I can't get over it. I'm sorry, guys, I can't.
It's hard mode.
It's like, what is he going to be able to do against the Ezreal? Nothing.
Well, I mean,
and
for 22 minutes,
and
he
TF
can't
who
do
kites him, and Karma, who's in his lane and also kites him, and roots him. Like, it's insane. But Ixu had an Ixu moment, I suppose, as they're desperate to to try to get engages going. But
Well, Secret's on a long flank here, but BDD is right behind him, and I think maybe it's a little too deep as Hybrid's trying to catch up. He's very tanky, does have that Gargoyle Stone Plate, but into the backline goes Assassin Lee Sin and destroys the Troll. Clit is going to be absolutely safe. Finds yet another resonating strike, but the Moonlight Vigil does come out, but the Abyssal Voyage is going to answer, and Hybrid gets no value. Gen.G playing out this composition so well, and it's an example of a comp that hasn't worked. And this is how you're supposed to do it, and it's working. Yes, it's against a lower tier team. We shouldn't get overexcited or anything like that, but this is a great sign for not just Gen.G, although it is fantastic for them, but for the LCK in general, because if Gen.G can do it, maybe some of our other teams realize what has to be done to make that one work. True Shot Barrage just to send Hybrid a message, I guess.
yeah, that's what it felt like. It's like, I see you. By the way,
hey man,
let me take your wolf. Didn't end up taking it, but it was funny anyway.
Can I have some of that wolf?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Gen.G are just miles ahead. They're desperate to try to find some kind of flank that finds a backline, but there's just too many tools for Gen.G to kite you down, to stop your engage.
Well, now it's yet another test as Ruler is in amongst 5 people. He's very dead.
What?
Okay.
That's one way to catch him, I guess.
Well, yeah. It's his first death this game. Limit testing.
Maybe.
Limit testing, 100%.
It's like, maybe I can 2v5.
He just teleported there. Okay. Alright, Hybrid's gonna flash out of the way of BDD.
So
Misses
much
the
damage.
wild cards, but he's
What?
still absolutely dead. Yeah, BDD is super fed, by the way,
Yeah.
as is like everyone else's life. He's just gonna eat some Nautilus. Delicious. As he dredge lines to get himself to safety, but how safe? He's actually being taken for a walk.
Yes.
The Death Chamber by the Karma attaches the leash and says, in you go. Pop it.
The taste of salty metal. That's what Nautilus is. Tastes great.
I mean, that's actually probably true.
Yeah, right? Like he's like a guy with metal armor on under the sea.
Yep.
And yeah, that Lichbane is actually doing some work. BDD gets into the back line. He's able to like basically 2-shot Hybrid just by himself.
I mean, he missed the wild cards. I think Hybrid was dead in
Yeah.
2 abilities had he actually hit that, but didn't matter, to be perfectly honest. As cleared 7-1-6, by the way, guys.
Yeah, just had a good game.
Yeah.
And
In
I'm
fact,
sure-
everyone, I think, has had a really good game outside of Ruler getting caught up with that teleport.
Sure.
That doesn't
Gen.G
really
are
matter.
really good. They're really good right now, and I don't even think that it's just the fact that they're playing SeolHaeOne Prince. They were able to win 3 really difficult.
Ruler's just going to kill Flawless.
Yeah.
Probably didn't need.
This one's over.
Yeah, absolutely over, but it's Gen.G putting on an absolute clinic as Life gets the perfect devour. Baits Secret in, he's going to die as in goes Clit to find a backline, but that might be his first mistake there as Ixu's being dealt with, and Clit is going to be taken down. So his second death of the game, it's not going to matter, guys, as there's the flash forward from BDD. Finds the wildcards this time, and Ezreal does have to follow up, as Kaney does have to come back to that portal jump, so it's a triple kill for Ruler right before the end of this game. Nexus will go down in a swift 2-0 for Gen.G.
There it is, BDD TPing out just in time to not be in the picture. And yeah, I'm gonna have to give my player of the game, I don't want to give it to Clit actually. I think BDD wins it again.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it's 100% going to Clit, but I'm looking forward to seeing how many people voted for
For
stuff.
me, it was BDD, Ruler, and then Clit.
Okay, I think Ruler and Clit definitely up there in my mind. I think like giving it to Clit isn't necessarily like to tell him that he played super clean Lee Sin, but he played Lee Sin the way you're supposed to if you want to win on this champion. And I think that's what the most important part of this game was, because there's been so many passenger Lee Sins that seem like they're playing for the late game. It's like you're waiting to become irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know, which you're not, right? Because, you know, that one kick can change the game, but it's not how you're supposed to make this guy work. He's a fantastic snowball champion, and Clit demonstrated that really, really well. But I think you're right, like BDD did also have a very good game. I think everyone deserves a mention on the side of Gen.G, and when you're talking about that, you know that it's a world-class team. And it looks like they have shored up some of their issues that they definitely displayed at MSC and, of course, in the final of spring. So we do need to hold them in the back of our minds, but this is a Gen.G that looks on form.
Yeah, definitely look for this team to challenge the other top teams towards the end of the season. Looks like they're really ramping up here at the beginning of the summer, which is around the perfect time as long as they can continue it into, of course, the finals potentially and playoffs, I suppose I should say. So a rough one for SeolHaeOne Prince, but I did feel like this was going to be one of the tougher teams for them. Hybrid was totally neutralized. Like, he's a great player. He's an awesome AD carry, and we barely saw him at all in this series. I mean, he really was not able to do much. He was also given Aphelios twice.
Yeah.
And shut down twice. Gen.G really have a good grasp on how to play against the Aphelios, and honestly, in that one just looked like the much better team.
I think you're not allowed to actually blind pick Aphelios against Gen.G now. I think they're one of the only teams that now look very, very good at neutralizing the champion. We saw them up against Damwon. It was a great performance. Aphelios was up. Damwon chose to pick the center instead because, of course, that's the type of team that they are. They like to empower Beryl. They like to empower their solo lanes. They're not about playing around an AD carry. And now we saw maybe another reason for Damwon to not be playing the Aphelios, because this Ashe exists that Rule is so good at. The Ezreal, he seems to have figured out that matchup as well, utilizing the Tahm Kench. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I think that maybe Damwon just knew something that others didn't about what Gen.G are capable of.
Damwon?
Sorry, Gen.G.
Yeah. Gen.G knew what they were capable of. They certainly showed it tonight, and that was a really quick one. I mean, it's 6:30. The next match starts at 8. So we'll have the interview and then probably over an hour of break time.
Yeah, maybe we can convince our producer to put on an episode of like the Pog State or something like that for some entertainment. Not entirely sure. Maybe we can just grab a game from yesterday, put that one in there.
We've got the time.
Yep,
for sure.
We'll try and figure something out to try and keep you guys entertained. But otherwise, you know, you can just maybe go to the gym. It's probably enough time to get a bit of a workout in.
Yeah, you can watch one episode of Dark.
You could watch one episode of Dark. I want to go back and watch The Expanse, so maybe that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
In the break time.
Okay. Thought we were gonna hang out, but I guess not.
And we can hang out and watch The Expanse together.
True.
We're gonna have some dinner though, of course, before that.
Yeah, I had Shake Shack like an hour ago. I had it like right before, and now I do not feel hungry. But
I didn't, and I was just sitting there being jealous. Because it looked really good. As we're going to check out some of the highlights here. My highlight was 100% the floating Twisted Fate. Not floating here, was floating in Midity's screen. As I actually thought Flawless got knocked up there, but that Q is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, Clid, as you mentioned it, he really does deserve an honorable mention, I suppose, for his Lee Sin in this game. He showed how you have to get aggressive and proactive in the early game if you want to play this pick. And his mechanics on it, I think, are the best in the LCK. I don't think it's a stretch to say that at this point. So,
yeah, I mean, he always was an incredible Lee Sin player. Yeah. We just haven't seen him enabled to this extent for a really long time, and it's just great to see.
It almost felt like maybe in Big Bad, he was like, just let me play it. You know, I want to have a little bit of fun. Like, let me show these kids, right? I'll show them my Lee Sin.
Yeah. Give me that LCK Lee Sin, lol. Yeah. What he probably said in chat.
He's the real assassin. Ornn isn't the real assassin. It's actually Lee Sin.
All right. I also want to say that Rascal's top lane Karma was just disgusting.
Yeah. It was really strong when you pick Renekton into it.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously. But yeah, still, he did his job perfect.
He looked good. He looked good on the Karma for sure. And that's another difficult thing for teams playing Gen.G. It's like, I don't think we can leave Karma open because they're one of the teams that do feel comfortable to play it in all three roles.
Yeah.
Whereas some teams, you know, maybe only want to play a mid support. So.
I mean, that was the one little hiccup that Lee Sin made. So maybe Clid loses the Pog vote for that one. Maybe in favor for the gentleman that's just about to pick up this triple kill in Ruler's Ezreal, who was just so good.
Yeah.
So he did a lot of damage.
It was probably Ruler. Like, if I could change my vote, I would, actually, to Ruler. BDD did have a good game as well, but I think the player of the game this time around was the Ezreal.
Yep, enabled very well by Life on the bottom side of the map. As we were saying, definitely an overall great performance just from Gen.G. As you can see, even damage between the Lee Sin, the Twisted Fate, and the Karma. Their job was to prop up Ruler and allow him to do his thing. And when Ruler's on form, which is a lot of the time, he is extraordinarily good. I mean, we were hearing from Wadid, I think it was last Sunday, where he was discussing the fact that Ruler does get caught out of position a lot. That's in their losses. A large reason for that. We saw one of those examples where he teleported in to die in front of 5 people on SeolHaeOne Prince's side. If he just doesn't do that anymore, he's basically set to be one of, if not the best, here in the LCK. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely up there, right? All the top players have, little things that they can improve on.
Yeah.
Certainly, I think he proved tonight that, again, you don't want to give him Ezreal, and also that he has a wide champion pool. He can play the Ashe, pull that one out. Doesn't get played very often. I mean, we saw it out of Mystic a couple of times.
Yep.
And I think someone else tried it and failed with a pick comp.
Might have been
That might have been
Ghost?
Mystic, though.
There was someone
Maybe it
that
was Ghost.
there was someone that had only played Ezreal and no, I think it might have been aiming.
Maybe. There's someone else that played it and it didn't work very well, but
Yeah.
really looked great on it. As we're waiting to see who picks up the player of the game.
Yeah. Got to
Little
see who's going to be
popular.
joining BDD on that stage. It might be BDD himself, as he did get a vote out of Brendan
BDD
Valdez.
and BDD. That would be sick. It is BDD. Wow.
Oh wow, you did it! I wonder if you
maybe
were
I'm
Brendan
the
Valdez
swinger.
the swinger. Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know whether that's for justice, but we'll just have to find out. BDD did have a good game, and it means that we will be able to have that solo interview. He did play very well, right? Like, BDD is just an incredible player. When he's on form, he's on amazing form. But I mean, this was him pressing his Zhonya's and then flashing away as Clid was doing the sick mechanics.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was a 6 out of 12, Brendan Valdez.
6 out of 12.
Oh, you could have. I think you were the swinger. I have a feeling you were the
There's
swinger.
probably like 6 votes for BDD, 5 for Ruler, and then 1 for Clid. That's my guess. Or 4 and 2. Because I think Clid, maybe Clid got more votes, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because Ruler did a lot of his good stuff towards, the middle of the game when he was miles ahead. And it, it looked really cool, but it wasn't really necessary for their win. So it depends on what you consider, the player
I'm
of the
just
game.
proud of you, man. You nailed it.
I
You,
did.
got in
After
there,
a
swung
rough
it over.
last Saturday where I think I got every single one wrong.
But that was good for the comedy. I like
True.
it. And now we get to have, of course, a conversation with BDD that G-Sun will help take us through as well as soon as that interview is going.
6
to be ready.
mid, 3 bot, 3 jungle. So it's actually split between.
You were very, very close
Yeah.
to predicting exactly what happened. So shout out to the Valdanalist.
There weren't very many variations.
What about that, like the one Jonah Strong Tom Kench vote? Like that.
Yeah.
In there. Who
It's
knows?
weird. The one random media guy, now that they're in there, it's like.
He's like,
oh, yeah,
I thought that
I
combo
voted
was
for
very
Rascal.
good.
Yeah.
Yes. But speaking of that interview that I mentioned earlier, let's throw it over to G-Sun for some translation.
Thank you very much,
자,
guys.
스피드건 들어보고
This is
싶네요.
Season
한
with
말씀
the
부탁드릴게요.
translation.
오늘도
PDD, how do you
되게
feel with the
중요한
win?
경기였는데
Today we had another important match, so it's a big relief that we secured the win.
저희가 그렇게 막 강조했는데 스프링에서도 그
Gen.G, your speed is back, just like the spring split. You guys were really strong in the late phase, and you guys just outperforming the opponents during every fight, and the game time, the game duration combined was less than an hour today.
일단은 저희도 싸움을 좋아하는데
We like to fight,
서래한 프린스
and 서래한 Prince,
싸움을 너무 좋아해가지고
they like to fight as
게임이 되게
well.
스피드하게 끝난 것 같아요.
So I guess we had a very speedy game.
그러면 그 스피드의 중심이었던 또 오랜만에 등장했던 탈리아에
And
대해서
Talia was the
좀
key
준비를 많이
factor in
하셨던
that
건가요? 아니면
speed.
어떤
Was that
경우에 쓸 수 있는
prepared?
조건이 있는 건지
What
좋다고
kind of
생각하시는
option does
궁금합니다.
she require to get picked?
해봤을 때 아직도 메이지 상대로 괜찮다고
I played it in the solo
생각해서
queue and I thought it's a good pick into main champions. And he can also rotate it to jungle as well.
1세트 때 탈리아가 나왔을 때 확실히 상대 바텀을
Game number
집중
one.
견제하는 그런 운영법이 나왔어요.
You guys were focusing a lot on the bottom side of the map. Was that because they were SeolHaeOne Prince, or was that another Gen.G's winning recipe? We just tend to rotate to the side where they have a lot of fights. And today, SeolHaeOne, they were playing around the bottom lane, so that's why I also roam down there.
정확하게 이렇게 체크하는 모습이 그렇게 그
Gen.G had a lot of vision control in the early phase of the game. And you could see Rek'Sai during their very early phase. So was that all practice?
사고만 안 나면 이긴다는 생각이
Whenever whoever we play against, we have this confidence that if we do not make any mistakes in the early phase, we can win. So that was the main reason why we're always so ready with the vision.
팀원으로서 봤을 때 어떠세요?
And Ruler's Ash is undefeated so far.
잘 해왔었다고 생각해서
Ruler, he has been performing really great
항상 잘한다.
every time. So I mean, I always just trust him.
이 경기에 POG 본인이 받았잖아요.
And you got POG in game number 2. What did Ruler react to the result?
그러니까 오늘 뭐지? 1경기 때도 자기 실수해서
Today,
짜증난다고
he said he was really annoyed because he made mistakes in game 1. So he didn't really
오히려 자책을 막.
do any reaction about the POG results for game 2.
그렇죠. 예. 본인이 만약에 POG 투표를 한다고 하더라도
If you
룰러의
could
1경기
vote
솔로킬 내 1대1에서
POG,
영향이 좀 있었을까요?
would
아니면
Ruler's
그 정도는
mistakes
전체적으로 괜찮다고
affect his
생각했을까요?
POG award? Because he got solo
조건이
killed
있었으면
in 1v1 and stuff like that, right?
일단 그 뭐지?
Well, if
마지막
I
팀에
can
한번
vote,
잘려가지고 그것
well,
때문에
in game 2 he got cut out in the end, so I might not vote to him.
라스칼이 카르마를 들고 나와가지고 착지.
Rascal this time around played Karma on top.
이거에 대해서 좀
He
어떠세요?
was
이게 카르마를
doing a
계속
lot of work,
돌리면서 좀 원래
getting the
준비하신 건가요? 그리고
props
라스칼이
with the
연습을 많이
runes.
하셨나요?
So is that a prepared
일단은
champion?
그냥 연습에서 자체는 그냥 계속 돌려가면서
I mean,
썼는데 오늘 사고로
we
쓸 상황이 나와가지고
Practiced a lot of different cards during the practice, and today we had the situation where we can play Karma on top.
다음전 본인 얘기입니다. 10점 만점에 5점.
In the previous interview, you answered that the Dama series, you rated team's performance 5 out of 10, but your performance 1 out of 10.
설해원전 10점 만점에 몇 점?
Then how would you like to rate yourself today against SeolHaeOne?
너무 흥분해가지고
I got overexcited at the level 1 in game 1, so I want to give
10점 만점인 거죠?
1.5 out of 10.
이거는 약간 오히려
BDD with some high standards.
리뷰 사이트에 올라가면 1점짜리 빨간색인데 그러면은
Being really humble and strict to himself.
좋은 모습 보였습니다. 다음에는 진짜 8.9점짜리
I hope we can see 8 or 9 performance out of BDD in your upcoming series against Sandbox. What's your mindset going into that game? I think it's really important to maintain this kind of atmosphere of a team, so we will work really hard and keep our winning streak. This will be the end of the interview with BDD, the solo POG from Gen.G, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you!
Am I back? Yes, I am. Thank you so much, G-Sun, for the interview translation, as per usual, and congratulations to BDD on back-to-back Pogs. It's going to put him well and truly up there as far as the Pog vote score. Don't have that one handy, but I'll hazard a guess that BDD is pretty close to the top, which he was in spring, which is exactly what we want to see if you are a Gen.G fan, of course.
Yeah, I think he was 400 points after getting this last POG, so he's definitely up there.
Even at least with
Towards the
Mystic,
top.
I believe. As that's going to put Gen.G in 3rd place. We actually have defined positions for everyone. No one actually tied up despite the match scores having a few things being a bit even. But Gen.G now locked in around that top point. T1's still in 6th place, but it is early days, and you've got some success coming through from Team Dynamics and from the Afrika Freaks, which has stopped T1 from being able to actually rise up that scoreboard. KT also in a little bit of trouble here, but they have a chance to redeem themselves up against a Damwon who do want to try and push for that 1st position. I don't believe Damwon are going to be able to make it into absolute 1st, especially with DRX having an extra game to play, but it is certainly going to be close for those guys. So looking forward to seeing what they can do. DRX as well, out in front at the moment. I believe we're going to see them tomorrow for their final game of the week, and that will definitely be interesting. But now, they're the longest break ever, Valdez.
Yeah, it's an hour and 5 minutes. So take those 65 minutes to maybe play a game of solo queue.
Yep, you can do something
Remember
like
to
that.
feed your cat.
Yep, go to the gym like we mentioned before, buy pizza. I don't know.
Prepare some food for the next series.
Yep, it's going to be a banger though. So make sure you come back for Damwon versus KT very soon. See you then.